Hello, everyone. Welcome to Mathematics with Chapas. So, we'll be looking at our last lesson on that time, and we'll be taking departure time, destination time, and time spent. All right, so let's see what we'll be taking here. The key word we'll be looking at departure time as the starting time. Take note of this. Departure time, which is also the starting time, and then we have destination time, which is the arrival time. That's the time in which an event ends or the landing time of a journey. Then we have the time spent. Time spent, this is how long an event takes place. So departure time is the time in which an event or a journey begins. Then destination time is the time in which an event ends or the landing time in a journey. And then the time spent is how long an event or a journey takes place. So let's look at some rules. Departure time and destination time must always be in 24-hour clock system. Please take note of this. While you are trying to solve for departure time or destination time or time spent, you must always keep your departure and destination time in 24-hour clock system. Now, number two is that your time spent is always in hours and minutes. Your time spent is always in hours and minutes. Though we can have other units for time spent, but for context sake, for this level, we'll be looking at our time spent in hours and minutes. Hours and minutes. All right, so let's see what we have. The formulas. Destination time is equal to departure time plus time spent, and departure time equal to destination time minus time spent, and then your time spent is equal to destination time minus departure time. So what we are looking at here, let's assume a child is maybe trying to do homework. That's an event. And then the child starts the homework maybe by 8:30 a.m. And then maybe the child spends maybe 3 hours 15 minutes to do the homework, or let's say 1 hour 15 minutes or 2 hours 15 minutes. That's the time spent. So the 8:30 is the starting time. Yeah, the starting time of that event. The starting time, which is what we call departure time if it is in journey. Then let's assume 2 hours 15 minutes is the time spent. So you can be asked to find the destination time, that is the ending time or the arrival time. So that is what we are gonna be looking at, and we'll solve two questions here. So from there you can take your activity questions to look at it. Right. So let's see. Venia left her house for school by 9:30 a.m. Venia left her house for school by 9:30 a.m. and reached by 12 noon. Venia left her house for school by 9:30 a.m. and reached by 12 noon. So how long did she take? How long did she take? Right, so let's look at this. Venia left her house by 9:30 a.m. So that's leaving the house, that's departure time. Departure time, that will be equal to 9:30 a.m. So we have to put this in 24-hour clock system. That will give us 0930 hours. All right, and reach by 12 noon. That will be our destination time. Destination time. All right, so and that will give us 12 noon, which is equal to 1200 hours. So we are looking at the time spent. How long did she take? That's the time spent. So our time spent equal to destination time destination time minus departure time. That's the formula for time spent. Destination time minus departure time. So that will give us subtraction hours and minutes. And then we'll have 1200 and then 0930. All right. So if we subtract, what are we gonna get? 00 minus 30. That would be impossible. So we need to borrow from 12. And remember how we add and subtract time. So this will be 11. The one we borrow, once it comes over to the minutes, it's gonna be 60. This will be in base 60. So 60 plus 00 will be 60. Yeah. So 60 minus 30 will be 30, and 11 minus 9 will be 2. So since we are looking at time spent, and remember our time spent is always in hours and minutes. So time spent is equal to 2 hours 30 minutes. 2 hours 30 minutes. All right. So we move to number 2. A flight from Nigeria to Canada takes 8 hours 45 minutes. A flight from Nigeria to Ghana to Canada takes 8 hours 45 minutes. That is our time spent. You can see it in hours and minutes. Now, what time did Awesome depart? What time? That's the question now. What time did Awesome depart? What time did Awesome depart? That means we are asked departure time if we arrived Canada at 9:15 p.m. So let's look at that. What do we see? We have takes 8 hours 45 minutes. That's our time spent. Our time spent equals 8 hours 45 minutes. That's our time spent. And then the destination time, take note of that. Destination time is equal to 9:15 p.m. Of course, we have to put this in 24-hour clock system. Make sure you take note of this. And that will be 21:15 hours. 21:15 hours. Remember, 24-hour clock, you may see the column, you may not see the column. So, but know that the first two has to do with the hours, and then the other two has to do with the minutes. All right, so we are looking at departure time. But departure time is equal to, the formula is destination time minus time spent, All right, so this will give us hours and minutes, and then we have 21:15, and then we have 8:45. All right, so we take our subtraction. 15 minus 45, that would be impossible. So we borrow from here, this will be 20. Then the one crossing down here will be 60. So 60 plus 15, that will give us 75. 75 minus 45 will give us 30. And then 20 minus 8 will give us 12. All right, so what we were looking for is departure time, and it's always in 24-hour clock system. So departure time is equal to 12:30 hours, which we can decide to put that in 12-hour clock system, which that will give us 12:30. That will be the PM session. All right. So that is what we do when we are looking at departure time, destination time, and the time spent. All right. So we have activity questions here, 8 questions. Carefully go through them carefully. This happens to be our last class under time. And then carefully look at them. You can drop any question you have in the comment section and I will attend to it. So please look at it carefully. So thank you for watching. Thank you for taking this series of on time. And then our next topic is also an interesting topic, which is speed. Speed, which we are going to apply the time that we've learned under speed. So do well to be there. I will see you in our next class. Thank you. Do well to like, subscribe, and also share these amazing lessons to others. See you in our next class.